Okay, second official episode of Sparrow Speaks. I am Sparrow, or Billy Boy as I go by on most social media. My pronouns are he, him, or they, theirs. Um, this episode, well, it might end up being like a two-parter. Um, but I wanted to talk about um, disabilities and money and things related to that. And if I get off on a tangent, well, I guess I don't want to say I'm sorry, but just to warn you, that might happen. Um, all the and that's another thing. There's no point in really apologizing for because it's something I'll get better at. Letting the space be quiet while I try to gather my thoughts. I'm actually really excited to record this. Um, yeah, yesterday was really fun, and um, of course, there was still that like fear today. But actually, let me go back because I did want to talk about how our universe is a reflection of where we are. So, if you're afraid to do something, the universe will conspire to make sure it doesn't happen. Um, which is why everything always goes wrong right as you're coming up to the deadline of a paper or something like that. It always, it's just that you don't want to do it. And even if you do want to do it, like recording this, you can still, your subconscious can still feel afraid of it. And so a lot of things were off today. It's been very rainy. I'm sitting on a house blanket, which has other people's energy on it. As I get older and older, I get more clairsentient, and that does not combine well with my sensory issues with ADD and other neurodivergent stuff. So that potentially can drain me. Speaking of which, I didn't even shield today. Something I can often forget with ADD. But what was I going on about? Yeah, I really wanted to do this, so I pushed through. I made sure I ate and all this stuff. Who knows if I have to go to the bathroom? um, but we already started. We're already here. Uh, Hopefully, I'm speaking clearly enough. And if my volume is too high or too low on your phone, like let me know. I'll tweak it. I feel like such an old man saying this, but filming nowadays is so much easier. I don't have to film on a computer and like wait like 8 hours or something for like a 2-minute video to load up. A decade ago, I was doing makeup tutorials. They weren't very good, but I was doing those, and so I did leave one of those in my on my page, just so you can, like, if you want to listen to it. It was one of the only times I like spoke on my video, but you can hear the difference in my voice and stuff. But my point is, I feel like a lot of us make up excuses for ourselves when it can be really simple. And yes, I do own a professional camera. My laptop right now is in the process of getting fixed. But I could do it up if I wanted to. But like I said in the first episode, I don't really want this to be polished at all, at least not to start off with, because then perfectionism will eat me and you will never hear back from me. At least for not for like a year or something. Even my locks are too short for a ponytail. I did have it up yesterday because it was too hot, but for some reason putting my hair up makes me feel more professional or more productive, whatever. So I guess I'll keep with it. And yes, I'm wearing the same shorts as yesterday. I often, as a neurodivergent person, like have a few favorite clothes that I wear often. They are clean, but just so you're ever wondering, you're like, it's a different day, but you're wearing the same clothes. It's bound to happen. I was wearing the same shirt too, actually, and then I changed it. And all the stuff I've been talking about doesn't seem like it goes into the topic I wanted to talk about, but it does. In the fact that, as I talked about in other episodes, I've got pathological demand avoidance, anxiety, freeze trauma response, sensory issues, all kinds of other stuff. Not to say, like, oh, that's an excuse to not go out and do the things you want to do, but after years and years and years of just being worn down by the American schooling system and capitalism, all that fun jazz, I went from someone who, like, I very much knew what I wanted to do. Like, well, I wanted to be a chef for 10 years, but then it turns out I would draw far more often than I cooked. So I wanted to be an illustrator. I had been drawing since I was little. And I still draw, mostly just when I get obsessed with someone or something. But trying to take art into, like, the financial world was maybe not the best decision for me. I tried for like a decade to, like, make myself draw these commissions on the deadline that I had made up, because if other people don't give you deadlines, right? And I, either because of, like, no deadlines and or me taking commissions that I didn't actually want to do, thinking that that's how you're supposed to do it for art, I burnt myself out on it, and now I haven't really been getting fulfilled from drawing. even though I'm very good at it from how many years I've done it. And I know some people very much are like, oh no, I would never turn my passions and hobbies into like a job. Uh, but considering that I am neurodivergent and all the stuff that goes with that, a 9 to 5, it ain't it for me, you know? Okay, this is gone to about the 11-minute mark, so I'll kind of try to wrap this up and then we'll move to part two in the next episode. But basically, it felt like I had no other choice but to do what I enjoy for money. And I still agree with that. But there are certain limits I have, which I'll talk about soon. But my mind's blinking on the rest, so I guess we'll cut it off here. If you listen this far, I really appreciate it. I don't even know if I need to say all the subscribe, like, share, all that stuff, comment. Like, yes, it helps with the algorithm, but if the algorithm don't like me, I'm not consistent, it ain't gonna fly. Um, it really has more to do with my subconscious and whether I want to be seen. So if you do all that stuff, it's much appreciated, but it is not by any means required. I don't want anyone to use their spoons in a way that isn't really fulfilling to them, because like interacting online with others is very draining. So yeah, subscribing and all that helps, but it's literally up to you.